I had a significant birthday this summer. And at the venue where I go a lot, George Mendez and I, another poet you probably all know, have the same birthday, except I'm old enough to be his grandfather, but so we celebrate at the same time, and so I wrote a poem for that occasion called "On Turning 77," August 8th, 2017. So I'm 77 today, the seventh double-digit number, a victorious signature in the annals of time, spacious plateau, a safe place for the mind to pause, to reflect, and wonder, and rhyme. I'm too old and spacey now to work day and night as I did for so many years of my life, and I'm too young to retire like I'm supposed to, stepping aside while I'm still fairly spry. But those were the rules when my ancestors, stepping aside while I'm still fairly spry, but those were the rules my ancestors lived by in the world they prepared for my lifetime. For I'd work 40 years at some job after college until I'd retire at age 65, then live on a pension until the day I die, preferably between 68 and 70, so the system can maintain its need to survive. So, 3 months shy of 68, my heart attacked as previously set, when I downloaded the rules without thought in the milk I sucked from my mother's breast. But I didn't die, as I was scheduled to. The doctors interceded, overrode the old rules. Through a slit in my rib, they replaced a bad valve. They discharged me back to my job. I tried to explain my job was all done. But they turned a deaf ear, would hear none of my reasons for letting go of my body, as if they had no belief in a soul. Then sometimes, waking up in the night, I felt the ancestors restless and perturbed as they stirred and groaned in their world of the dead. They'd expected me home. I shouldn't have said, go ahead, cut out the old leaking part. Give me a working valve in my heart so I can breathe and sleep again. Once the doctors disrupted the design, I had no alternative plan in mind. And who would have imagined such skills could exist 77 years back when I set out on this trip? So, when set out on this trip, but the miracles ended at the hospital exit as I returned with well wishes to the street to resume the old life, compete, get ahead, when my spirit had planned for my body to be dead. It bewildered me as I faced my new state as a cardiac patient in tough negotiations over the terms of my revised expiration date. So, the genetic plan to reel me in using the family history of a heart condition lay dashed on the rocks of modern medicine. But the ancestors, not to be outdone, set another trap for their singular son. Just like my mother at age 73, I fell and broke my hip. And just to make a point of it, when I might have gotten it over it, I fell smack down on the replacement hip. From then on, I walked with a chronic limp, supporting my weight with a cane. Seemed I might never dance again, never walk the dog, never really recover, until it occurred to me to change my doctor. And on my 76th birthday, yes, on this date, very date last year, I got a new hip, now 1 year old, and yes, it's working fine, and I'm better than I was before, having repaired a tragic karmic tie. And did I mention the cataracts fogging my eyes? Long before they dimmed my sight, I was at least half blind. And I would have lost my license to drive and probably had to give up reading like my dad and my ancestors before me if the doctors hadn't restored me to seeing as I hadn't seen since 1949, before I needed glasses all the time. These are significant new directions. To see, to breathe, to walk pain-free. That wasn't the plan for me at 77, which I was never even supposed to be. But can I really go on like this, robust, stout, and hale, replacing all my body parts, one by one they fail, forestalling family karma and the awful curse of God that all things born must die because of something we have done, when the only hope is health care and surgical repair increasingly demanded by men and women everywhere? Can the doctors give us eternal life?
No.
Will the government pay the bill? No one wants to say for sure, yet everyone hopes somehow they will. Living past my allotted span, I stand in a perplexing shadowland. Thanks to my medical dependency, I'm here alive, but I'm not the man I used to be. Is this recovery just a tease? And do I dare neglect health care, dump my pills, refuse my Medicare? Then who will pay my share if I catch some senior ravaging disease? May I get up, please, from my knees? I understand the slow takedown, the depression and creeping despair, as month by month I've felt my health erode. But now the odds of an early death reset. They're not at all what they once were. Instead, I find myself plateaued, paused at a place where I can take stock, shuffling my well-worn tarot deck, hoping the cards will talk. If I'm not dying, how shall I live? Is the question I put to the oracle on my 77th solar return, which to me feels truly historical. I need to know what to guard, what to give. How much is too much when how little that is? The answer, though brief, is not glib. Practice justice in public and joy in your home is the message the tarot transmits. So with my health renewed, my ancestors recused, I stand behind, satisfied, and ahead. I'm resigned to whatever madness may ensue, because I'm 77 years old now, a double 7 without the O. I've nothing urgent left to do but to trip on the exit, fall back on the stage, get up on my feet, brush off dusty age, and continue to play holy fool for you.